Hi, this is Jessica from Snippets and Pretties. We want to show you a few different coloring techniques today using our Apple Blossom or our Apple Harvest stamp set with the Apple Blossom dies. The Apple Harvest stamp set is in the catalog currently, but the Apple Blossom dies are just a special that's over in a couple days, so you have to get those quickly online. Okay, so first off, we're going to start with this apple card. I'm going to show you also, if you're new to stamping, just a good way to help you get a good image from your stamp. So we like to just kind of tap it a little bit, get it all inked up. Don't press too hard, but just enough pressure there all around. And then a light pressure on your cardstock. There's a good image. I just want to show you if you press it too hard, you kind of get a lot more of the shadowing showing. So when you have a stamp like this with all that shadowing, you just need to be really careful not to press too hard and get too much ink inside there. Alright, so for this first one, we're going to use our masking paper. So I've already cut our mask. You'll need two different ones for this because we're doing two different colors. So it's just a paper that's kind of sticky in the back. So first off, we'll do the leaves. You can probably use these masks a few times, just have to kind of be careful not to rip them. Just lay it there. Alright, we're going to use the sponges for this. We're using Garden Green. Just get your little brush a little inked up. Just kind of gentle tap. You can always go back in and add more ink, so it's better to do it lightly and then add some more if you want more color. A little bit more in there. And you just peel that up. And because we're gonna, they're ripped, so they're not gonna stay. You're able to use them a whole lot, I guess. But it doesn't matter if it gets out on the outline because we're gonna use the die and cut it out. There you have the green. And then you'll do that with the red. Same, you do the same thing. We're using the real red on this. Just kind of takes a minute to get it lined up. Anyways, this is what it'll look like after you sponge the red, and then cut that out. All right, so the next one, we used the watercolor pencils. So these two came from one assortment, and this curry came from a second assortment. And these are really fun and easy because you just kind of scribble them on where you want the color, and depending on how dark you want the color. I didn't really want the curry color especially, so I didn't want to do too much color on mine. But so just color those, scribble it on there. And then we're going to use the Stella. I don't know if you can see a sparkle. It's kind of hard to see there, but we're going to use the Stella to blend it. You can use a aqua painter if you want, or what's that other marker that we have that blends colors? Blender pen, that's what it's called. Anyways, that will, and I'll add some sparkle as it blends the colors, so that's fun. And then I used the Garden Green also with this. And then the brown that's in there, I think it's espresso. And then you just blend them all, I blend them all with the Wink of Stella. Okay, and then you'll cut that out and stick that on that card. There And our next one I colored using our Stampin Blends. This is a fun way to color because you've got all of these different shades. I like to start with the lighter color, and sometimes I don't even go back in and add the darker, because you can actually add more color on top with the same marker to add some color there. If you want to use the wider tip to get larger areas, you can do that. It's an alcohol-based marker, so it blends nicely, really good together. So you can add some more darker parts to that. So, and then this one we used a dark Granny Apple and the light Granny Apple. This is a dark color. You don't have to color it all in either, and you can just add the other one to add in another level of that color. And you can go back in and add more, kind of blend those together. But I really like using these. Okay, the last thing we colored was the bag. And this one, we used watercolor paper and the aqua painter. There's water in here. Kind of get the water going. I think when you use a watercolor paper and the aqua painter, it looks really like I know what I'm doing, but I don't really know what I'm doing. Oh, see, I squeeze it to get a little bit more water out there. That's good. If you need to wipe a little bit off, you can wipe it on your scraps. Just kind of brush it on. You can always go back in and add more color with this also. I really like the look of watercolor. And the aqua painter makes it really easy. So then you'll just have to, when you use these, you'll have to make sure you clean them off. Same with the Stella. After you blend with it, you want to make sure you kind of clean it off before you move on to your next color. Got that pretty clean. And just be careful not to get any of your wet ink, because it'll blend a little bit. So I try to stay away from what I've already colored. Maybe let it dry a little bit if it's too close. But watercolor's pretty forgiving. You can go outside the lines. It's fast, easy way to color. And then you'll want to add a little bit of suede to do your top of your apple. But pretty easy, those are some fun ways that we like to color. So I hope you guys have a good day and have fun coloring on your projects. Thanks, bye-bye.